For 44 years, one aircraft has watched every square kilometer of NATO skies, a rotating radar dome. 17 nationalities crewed inside the same fuselage, the Alliance's eyes in the sky since the Cold War. That aircraft is retiring, and its replacement is not American. At the NATO Summit in Ankara, Secretary General Mark Rutte confirmed it. 11 NATO nations are jointly acquiring up to 10 Saab GlobalEye, a Swedish radar bolted onto a Canadian business jet to replace the legendary Boeing E-3 Sentry, a program worth roughly $4.5 billion. And it happened in the same year the United States was publicly demanding Europe buy American. So how did an alliance built on American air power end up hiring Sweden for its most important surveillance capability? The answer starts with a collapse. NATO had originally chosen Boeing's E-7 Wedgetail as the Sentry's successor back in 2023, but the U.S. Air Force quietly pulled the plug on its own Wedgetail program, betting instead on space-based sensors that by most expert assessments are still 5 to 10 years from being battlefield ready. When Washington walked, it didn't just abandon its own project, it pulled the financial and strategic floor out from under NATO's plan. 11 nations were left facing a 2035 retirement deadline with no aircraft to replace their most critical surveillance platform. Sweden filled the vacuum. The GlobalEye isn't just a cheaper alternative. It fuses Saab's Erieye extended-range radar with a Bombardier Global 6500 airframe, tracking air, sea, and ground targets simultaneously, something the E-3 was never built to do. No mechanical rotating dome, a fixed electronically steered array that never stops scanning. And unlike its American predecessor, it isn't bound by U.S. export restrictions. No waiting on Washington's permission to operate, upgrade, or share the technology with allies. Here's the part that should genuinely unsettle Moscow. Sweden didn't hand NATO an unproven aircraft, it handed NATO combat-tested technology. In 2024, Sweden donated its own Saab 340 early warning aircraft, carrying an earlier version of that same radar family, to Ukraine. And in June 2025, Ukrainian and German reporting described a Ukrainian F-16 guided by that Swedish radar plane from over 200 kilometers away, shooting down a Russian Su-35, one of Russia's most capable fighters, deep over contested airspace. Ukraine's own officials never confirmed every detail of that engagement, but the pattern is undeniable. Sweden's radar technology has already been tested against the exact adversary NATO is now buying it to deter. Would a rotating American radar dome have caught that same threat in time? That's the question defense planners in 11 capitals are quietly asking themselves right now. And there's a second story hiding inside this one. Germany's 2027 defense budget reportedly earmarks over 3 billion euros for this program, justified, in the government's own language, by the idea that the United States can no longer be relied on to fund European early warning. Read that again. A NATO ally in an official budget document citing American unreliability as the reason to spend billions on a Swedish aircraft instead. No contract has been signed yet. Formal negotiations with Saab are just beginning, and the road from announcement to delivered aircraft is long, but the direction is set. For the first time in over 40 decades, the aircraft watching NATO's skies won't wear an American flag. Do you think Europe replacing its AWACS fleet with a Swedish-Canadian aircraft signals real strategic independence from Washington, or is this just a temporary fix until the U.S. changes its mind? And if Ukraine's radar-guided F-16 kill is confirmed, does that change how seriously NATO should take a Sweden that spent decades being underestimated?